My roommate is a sharp-tongued, aloof beauty, and one day, I unexpectedly overheard his inner thoughts. What large hands, I wish to hold them. What a strong waist, I long to embrace it. What luscious lips, I yearn to kiss them. That I truly adore you. I was taken aback and gazed at him, only to have him provocatively retort. What's wrong? Want to be hit again, you fool? Later, I posted on a forum, what should I do if my wife is a sharp-tongued tsundere? 1. I have finally been discharged from the hospital. A few days ago, my annoying roommate, Sushiran, insisted on accompanying me to play basketball. He is a young master completely unaccustomed to manual labor. The slightest bump sends him crying out in pain, and he can hardly play. I have no idea what he was thinking when he threw a ball at the back of my head. I ended up with a concussion and spent 3 days in the hospital for observation. To his credit, he came daily to bring me meals, though his words were far from kind. You're such an idiot, how could you not dodge such a large ball? Hearing him made my lips twitch in irritation, but I endured. After all, he's just a foolish son of a wealthy family, I might as well let him be. When I was discharged, I didn't inform him and returned home directly. As I opened the door, I saw him pouring kanji from an exquisite food container into a plastic bowl. It was the very plastic bowl he usually used to bring me meals. I looked at him in surprise. I thought you would be getting takeout from the cafeteria. To my astonishment, it was meticulously prepared. TSK, that must be quite a challenge for a young master like him. However, the taste was utterly dreadful. Pretending to be grateful every time was excruciating. Sushiran, with an awkward expression, poured the kanji back. Heh, it's just leftovers from my meal. Don't get any delusions. I was momentarily speechless. Damn it, I still utterly despised him. Zhou Luo, why are you back so early from the hospital? I was too lazy to respond and brushed past him. Sushiran undoubtedly detested me, yet he always felt the need to engage in conversation. What a misfortune to be assigned to the same dormitory with him, especially a double room. Seeing that I ignored him, Sushiran let out a cold laugh. You fool. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll end up with dementia. I clenched my fists, holding my breath. Sushiran, with a face that is both delicate and strikingly beautiful, always manages to utter the most venomous words. Not talking? Have I rendered you mute? Idiot. I told you not to pretend to be fine. Enough. I turned around and slammed him against the door, gripping his wrist tightly. Suziran's skin was pale and tender, his wrist easily ensnared in my grasp. A gentle rub left a faint blush on his skin. Oh no. Did I apply too much pressure? He's getting flustered. How delightful. It seemed I heard Sushiran speaking. But how could such a lively and charming voice possibly belong to him? Looking down, I noticed his cold, proud eyes shimmering with unshed tears as he glared at me. Upon closer inspection, the corners of his eyes were slightly reddened, a blend of grievance and anger. My heart skipped a beat. This boy was simply too captivating. Let go of me, you fool. Indeed, I must have been imagining things. He still annoyed me to no end that I impatiently tightened my grip on him. Idiot, fool, imbecile, I've heard enough. Sushiran, if you dislike me so much, then move out. Stop causing me trouble. As soon as I finished speaking, he trembled, his eyes reddening further, like a little rabbit caught by the scruff of its neck. Usually, Sushiran struts around like a proud peacock, giving me orders, and I had always tolerated it. But at the slightest hint of anger, he would shrink back. Don't dislike you, you're just too close. I towered at nearly 6 feet, a whole head taller than him. Such a petite Sushiran, he struggled to break free from my grasp but was utterly unsuccessful. Looking at the inexplicably flustered Sushiran, I found him oddly endearing. Just accept your foolishness. Sushiran stomped on my foot with a fierce glare, his voice tinged with a sob. Scoundrel Zhou Luo, I never want to talk to you again. 2. The chilly breeze made him weep, and he unexpectedly acquired a new moniker. Rascal. Silently, I played a song for myself. What's wrong, my little princess? Sushiran sat on the bench with his back to me, his shoulders trembling. My own feet ached in sympathy. Sushiran appeared to be a charming little darling. Yet not only was his tongue sharp, but he also possessed considerable strength. Are you all right? I inquired. Don't talk to me, he retorted. Humph, if you apologize, I might begrudgingly forgive you. Huh? How strange. Why did I hear 2 voices? I only wanted to get closer to you by playing basketball. Yet I ended up injuring you and landing you in the hospital. How useless am I? Sob sob. The porridge I made must be terrible too. Despite studying for so long, I can still notice every frown you make. I stared in shock at Sushiran's back, unable to believe my ears. How could this be the words of the young master? He even made porridge for me? Am I suffering from post-concussion syndrome, hearing things? Su Shiran, did you just speak? Are you out of your mind? Zhou Luo. Now that sounded like my young master. I quietly moved aside to observe and heard Su Shiran's voice again. He doesn't even comfort me. He wants to chase me away. Sob sob. My heart shattered into pieces. Who will help me piece it back together? His lips didn't move. The doctor never mentioned that a concussion could induce auditory hallucinations. Have I awakened some extraordinary ability? Perhaps this is Su Shiran's inner voice? Should I comfort him? As I approached, I realized Su Shiran's beautiful face was flushed from crying. His expression puffed up like a pufferfish. Yet he stubbornly remained silent, refusing to let me hear a sound. Truly a mule-headed boy. Su Shiran, it was my fault earlier. I spoke too harshly. May I treat you to a meal as an apology? His fluffy head lowered obediently, resembling a little kitten. Unable to resist, I reached out and ruffled his hair. Stop crying. I'm sorry. Ah. Zhou Luo is patting my head. The sudden shriek startled me. Did he dislike it? Hesitantly, I withdrew my hand. Why did you stop? I'm crying, and you're not comforting me, sob sob. I hurriedly placed my hand back, and Su Shiran seemed to relish it, nuzzling against me. He truly resembled a delicate, hard-to-please kitten. As I gazed at his frail shoulders, I suddenly felt quite like a rascal. I wrapped my arms around him. It's all my fault. Go ahead and hit me. Stomp on me a few times if you wish. Su Shiran froze, pushing me away forcefully. Are you a pervert? Why are you hugging me, EW? How disgusting. Su Shiran shot me a glare with his brows furrowed. Like a headless fly, he darted around the dormitory and then rushed to the balcony to wash his face. I silently observed his flushed earlobes. Deep down, he was clearly thinking. Su Shiran is feeling blissful again. If I don't leave, my heart might explode. Ah. He surely wished to be good friends with me. Such a contradictory fellow. 3. Until bedtime, Su Shiran completely ignored me. In the dead of night, thunder suddenly rumbled. And in my drowsiness, I heard Su Shiran's voice. I hate thunder. It's so frightening. I always feel like a ghost will come to grab my feet. Sob sob. How can Zhou Luo sleep so soundly? I glanced over at Su Shiran's bed. Are you afraid of thunder? Su Shiran seemed startled, his voice quivering. How could I be afraid? Don't spread rumors. Sleep and don't suddenly scare me. I realized in my foggy state that those were Su Shiran's inner thoughts. I couldn't help but smile. How could the illustrious young master admit to fearing thunder? Remembering the tears he shed earlier, I wondered if he was hiding under the covers, crying again. TSK. He truly resembled the most cherished little princess in a castle, needing to be coddled. I'm a bit scared, Su Shiran. Will you sleep with me? I truly am an exemplary roommate, deserving of my own praise. What's wrong with pampering a good brother? Huh? You're actually afraid of thunder. I heard him chuckling softly under the covers. I couldn't help but feel a wave of annoyance. Su Shiran was indeed adorable, like a mischievous cat. Then I'll reluctantly allow you to sleep on my bed with me. Listen to that condescending tone. Perhaps I should kneel and proclaim. Thank you for your graciousness, Your Highness. I sighed helplessly, getting out of bed to join him. Su Shiran was curled up in the blanket, revealing only his sparkling eyes. In the dim, confined space, I felt my ears flush under his gaze. Uneasily, I lay down beside him. Remembering how my mother used to comfort me as a child, I reached out and pulled him into my embrace, causing him to stiffen instantly. Why are you hugging me? Stay away. Su Shiran scowled, trying to push me away. At nearly 1.8 meters tall, he was still too small for me. Embracing him felt just right. I was about to release him, but then I heard his delighted inner voice. Squeeze a little tighter. Zhou Luo's arms feel so safe I want to be held forever. Feeling Su Shiran's soft cheek rub against my arm, I froze. This little rascal was doing it on purpose. His words contradicted his body's honesty. Just then, a thunderclap echoed outside. Boom! Su Shiran, startled like a frightened kitten, burrowed deeper into my embrace, his previously pushing hands now tightly wrapped around my waist. My face flushed instantly. What was he doing, getting so close? Though we were both boys, I had never been this close to anyone before. A faint fragrance wafted from him, so different from other boys. He was breathing a bit raggedly, his breath tickling my neck. I'm not afraid of thunder. I'm protecting you. His face pressed against my chest, rubbing against me. Zhou Luo 1T think I'm cowardly, right? No matter. I'll take this chance to snuggle more. You're really pushing it. Su Shiran, you. What? Su Shiran looked up at me with a sulky face. His tone laced with disdain. What does a dog say? Wasn't it you who was scared and wanted me to accompany you? Aren't you satisfied? He really had a knack for insulting me. I was sweating. It seemed I had indeed brought myself to this bed. From this angle, with his lips pouted and the lightning illuminating his face, he looked incredibly tender and youthful, like a strawberry-flavored jelly, sweet to the bite. Wait, what am I thinking? I must guard against any inappropriate thoughts. I shook my head in a fluster, pressing his tilted head down. Let us sleep, all right? I'm the one afraid. That's more like it's satisfied. Su Shiran nestled into my arms, comfortably falling asleep. Roommate, do your family know about your contrasting personality? For the next morning, Su Shiran clung to me like an octopus, making it impossible for me to move. His hand had even slipped under my shirt. The crucial detail was that us boys have certain morning ahem situations. I cautiously tried to shift away, but Su Shiran woke up instantly. What are you doing hugging me so tightly, you pervert? I looked at him struggling to pry my hand away, remaining silent. Su Shiran, before you scold me next time, perhaps you should rein in all those meaningless thoughts in your head. He. I genuinely feared you might drool. If you want to be friends with me, just say it, alright? Sigh, it's truly frustrating dealing with his contradictory nature. After neatly folding the blanket and completing my morning routine, I discovered the weather was splendid, perfect for doing laundry. Casting a glance at the bucket beside me, I realized that during my absence over the past few days, Su Shiran had accumulated a pile of clothes. The young master changes his attire daily and, disdaining the communal washing machine for its perceived filth, he allows his garments to accumulate. In the past, I would occasionally assist in washing them. However, yesterday, when I held his wrist, it seemed I had inadvertently caused him some discomfort. A brief examination revealed a red ring around his delicate skin. How fragile he is. I dare not scold him again. I decided to take the initiative to wash his clothes along with mine. What are you doing? Su Shiran suddenly burst in, swatting my hands away. I stood there, my hands lathered with soap, helplessly gazing at him. What now, my young master? Perverted scoundrel. Filthy lecher. Degenerate. Su Shiran furiously berated me. From now on, don't you dare wash my clothes again. Ah! I had forgotten to wash my underwear in my anger yesterday. How could Zhou Luo possibly have handled my undergarments? It left me feeling somewhat flustered. What does he mean? I looked at Su Shiran in confusion, seeing him curse while his ears turned increasingly red. Wait, could he possibly think that my washing his underwear implied something else? I am not homosexual, my friend. Su Shiran. I merely noticed your injury and wanted to help. Do not misunderstand me. I managed to exhale, finally articulating, my sexual orientation is perfectly normal. Humph. Su Shiran coldly snorted, his dissatisfaction with me palpable. I knew it would be pointless. How utterly tiresome. Moments ago, his face was animated with anger, yet it now appeared desolate. Upon closer inspection, I noticed his eyes glistening with unshed tears. Zhou Luo, kindly vacate the premises. Su Shiran, do you think adding the word please renders you polite? Why does he seem upset again? His expression resembles that of someone who has been wronged. After a day spent conducting experiments in the lab, I intended to invite Su Shiran to dinner to apologize, yet he continued to ignore my messages. I had no idea what had upset him again. After consulting with the doctor, I was finally permitted to bathe. The previous days of only using a towel had been utterly uncomfortable. After my shower, I donned a pair of shorts and towel-dried my dripping hair. At that moment, I unexpectedly encountered Su Shiran as he entered the room. Typically, I would dress neatly when he was around. However, we are both men, and there is nothing inappropriate about it. Yet, Su Shiran glanced at me once and promptly slammed the door shut. I stared at the suddenly vacant doorway, bewildered. What on earth? Why did he close the door? Is he not going to sleep? Just as I was about to investigate, Su Shiran re-entered, his face as cold as ever as he regarded me. Good evening. Why is he being so polite in greeting me? This is unusual. He then took a seat on the bench, his ears faintly tinged with pink. He opened his laptop and spoke in a frosty tone. Zhou Luo, I have an experiment report I do not quite understand. Could you come over and take a look? What an impolite young master. I sighed in resignation and draped the towel over my shoulder as I approached. Leaning over him from behind, I found the computer positioned somewhat far away, necessitating my closeness to Su Shiran, my voice dropping to a whisper near his ear. Oh, this is... I began to explain, but Su Shiran showed no reaction. I turned to observe his cool, refined profile. His lips were pursed, and his gaze seemed unfocused. Did he not comprehend? What could he possibly be thinking? Those abs. Exactly like the ones I touched yesterday. A perfect 8-pack. Oh, how blissful. I was taken aback as our eyes met. He slightly tilted his head, resting his chin on his hand, and provocatively looked at me. Continue, Zhou Luo. Are you incapable of explaining? Heavens, the water droplets cascading from his neck to his chest. And lower. I yearned to bury myself there. How embarrassing. I fell silent. What on earth is Su Shiran fixated on? He clearly has not been listening to my explanation. How could he possibly understand? Is he perhaps envious of my physique? What a contradictory fellow. If he is a brother, why not just reach out and touch? After all, showcasing one's physique is the purpose of such efforts. Do you like it? Su Shiran froze at my question, raising an eyebrow at me. What do you mean? I understand you. With confidence, I grasped his hand and placed it on my body. Mine still moves. I have never let anyone else touch it. You are the first. Su Shiran's hand firmly pressed against me. I felt him gently squeeze, and his face flushed red. The earlier air of self-assurance had evaporated. Zhou Luo, I am earnestly seeking your guidance. What are you doing? Anger flickered across his features, yet he did not release his grip. In fact, he squeezed a bit more. This is maddening. How generous of him. Can soften and harden, moves, and even bounces. Oh, you don't like it? Then I shall remove my hand. Ah, but I still wish to touch. Observing the glimmer of regret in his eyes, I couldn't help but chuckle softly. I then slid his hand downward. TSK, this fellow will undoubtedly call me brother from now on. If he wishes to learn my workout methods, I might reluctantly oblige. My physique is commendable, don't you wish to learn? Su Shiran's face flushed as he furrowed his brows and glared at me. Pa, don't be so smug. The girls find your kind of ordinary confidence utterly unappealing. As he spoke, Su Shiran irritably swatted my hand away, his voice icy and aloof. Step aside, do not obstruct my path. How skillful he is at fishing for compliments. I must dash to the shower for 3 rounds of cold water. Ah, if I do not hurry, it will be too late. Too late for what? Su Shiran rushed out, accidentally bumping his foot against a chair, and stumbled into me. Are you all right? Su Shiran maintained his aloof demeanor. I am fine, remove your grasp. Su Shiran appeared to be in utter agony. Oh, it hurts terribly. I bumped my ankle and feel unable to walk. I couldn't help but smile at his inner thoughts. Who would have guessed that the cool, distant male deity harbored the heart of a weepy young master? Do not pretend to be brave. I supported his waist and lifted him, my arm encircling his legs.
Su Shiran shape in what? Purel.
You should lie down on the bed. I will fetch some iodine. As I searched for the medicine, I felt Su Shiran's gaze upon me, tracking my every move. When I glanced over, he turned his head away. Extend your foot. I will apply the medicine. He reluctantly responded but obediently extended his foot. He sat at the edge of the bed while I knelt on the ground, holding his ankle and gently swabbing it with a cotton swab. It is slightly swollen. You cannot bathe today. Just a simple wipe will suffice. Understood? Zhou Luo, you are being overly meddlesome, like an old woman. I imagined the expression he wore, undoubtedly resembling an inflated pufferfish, and couldn't suppress a smirk. He truly is charming when he smiles. I paused, hand holding the cotton swab momentarily. He looked so earnest while applying the medicine. If only time could freeze at this moment. Yet I could not resist the urge to look up. Instead, I found Su Shiran's eyes brimming with unguarded tenderness and a hint of a smile at the corners of his mouth. It was a stark contrast to his usual fiery demeanor, utterly devoid of his previous irritation. How beautiful! My heart inexplicably raced. I found myself momentarily entranced. Su Shiran gently nudged my knee with his foot, awkwardly turning his head away, his earlobes flushed crimson. Why are you looking at me like that? It's quite strange. Suddenly, I realized you are rather good-looking. Unlike Su Shiran, who is proud and speaks contrary to his heart, I am direct and say whatever comes to mind. Are you out of your mind, Zhou Luo? I'm a boy, Su Shiran exclaimed, kicking me hard and pretending to walk away. However, I firmly grasped his ankle, furrowing my brows as I placed it on my knee. No more sulking. After you apply the ointment, you can do as you please. I expected Su Shiran to fuss some more, but instead, he merely responded with a quiet "Oh." What was he up to now? I listened closely to his thoughts. His expression is so handsome. Please whip me into shape. What is he saying? Why can't I understand? Such a peculiar Su Shiran. That night, as we prepared for bed, Su Shiran surprisingly asked me, "Are you scared tonight? Would you like to sleep together? I can reluctantly protect you." There was neither thunder nor rain, so I declined. As a result, I heard Su Shiran sobbing in his heart the entire night. Damn Zhou Luo. Useless Zhou Luo. Clueless fool. You'll never find a wife in this life. I rolled over and covered my ears with a pillow. Whatever. I'm not looking for a wife with him. The following day, our mentor announced a dinner gathering to help everyone get acquainted, especially the newcomers. As I was replying, Su Shiran approached and patted me on the shoulder. Hey, weren't you going to treat me to a meal yesterday? I'm free today. He lifted his chin haughtily, waiting for my invitation. Oh no, the little master had finally calmed down, and now he would become a pufferfish again. I shook my phone and forced a smile. Well, Su Shiran, my mentor is treating today, so I really can't help it. How about another day? I'll take you out for a grand feast. Su Shiran's handsome face visibly crumpled, but he feigned indifference. Humph, as if I care. My friends invited me to go racing. I can't be bothered to waste time with you. Then I heard him whimpering in his heart. Who can grab his mentor for me? I'll pay 500,000. Boo-hoo-hoo. Couldn't help but laugh out loud. Previously, I harbored a storm of anger towards him, but now I found him increasingly adorable in a spoiled way, like a younger brother. Upon seeing me laugh, Su Shiran shot me a glare and stormed off. That evening, I drove to pick up the new junior sister. She had only recently arrived and was unfamiliar with the restaurant's location. All the while, I felt as though a fiery red car was following me, but upon reaching our destination, it veered off. While dining, I shielded the junior sister from a few rounds of drinks. Amidst the cacophony, I suddenly heard Su Shiran's voice. I'm eating lemons? I'm eating lemons. So sour. Confused, I glanced around and spotted Su Shiran hiding in a corner, his face obscured by a baseball cap, looking quite stealthy. Having embraced him a few times, I immediately recognized his figure. He was poking at a cup of lemon drink with a straw, seemingly without having eaten anything. He looked rather pitiful. Could it be that he was upset because I didn't invite him to dinner today? After pondering for a moment, I informed my mentor that I had to leave for an urgent matter and entrusted the junior sister and the car to another classmate. I couldn't drive after drinking. Hey, where did Zhou Luo go? Why did he suddenly disappear? Su Shiran looked around in confusion. I deliberately stayed silent, sneaking up behind him to snatch off his cap. With a teasing tone, I said, Little master, appearing here so late. Could it be you were waiting for me? Su Shiran jumped in surprise, turning to put on his cap again. Don't flatter yourself. I'm here to eat. Just as he finished speaking, his stomach let out a loud growl. I turned my face away, stifling my laughter. Su Shiran's face turned crimson, which was utterly adorable. I'm taking you out to eat. I still owe you a meal. Don't refuse. But what about your mentor and your junior sister? They are not as important as you. Please do me the favor of coming with me, little master. I laughed as I grabbed his wrist and led him outside. Su Shiran remained silent, his head lowered. With the cap on, all I could see were his ears flushed bright red. He looked so obediently cute, lost in his thoughts. Straining to listen, I heard nothing, as if he were immersed in overwhelming happiness. I could only feel his pulse racing at 120 beats per minute amidst the noise of the restaurant. Clear, bright, sincere, and fervent.
Su Shiran Lovek Si Phao.
So I took him to indulge in some giant shrimp. I peeled an entire plate for him. Zhou Luo, what does beer taste like? The little master probably had only ever tasted red wine. Not good. Don't be curious, you're still a kid. I chuckled as I watched him smile, his lips glistening with the red sauce. You're the kid. Whatever I want, I get. Zhou Luo, bring me a dozen. Su Shiran commanded me as if I were his waiter. Why do you seem drunk already without even drinking? Fine, just a little. I don't want to have to carry you back later. Carrying me back is your blessing. Humph. Su Shiran took a hearty gulp of the icy beer, only to choke and turn beet red. His fair skin made the blush incredibly pronounced. The originally cool expression on his face transformed into a strikingly beautiful flush, and he pouted at me in dissatisfaction. I couldn't help but get lost in my thoughts, that strange racing heartbeat returned. Feeling a little guilty, I diverted my gaze, using a napkin to wipe the beer that had spilled at the corner of his mouth. Is it good? My little master. Am I really that unattractive? Su Shiran's mood inexplicably sank as he gazed at the beer with a sense of grievance, saying, "It's not good. It's sour and bitter." Sour and bitter? The shopkeeper must have sold me fake beer. If it's not good, then don't drink it. Eat shrimp instead. Mind your own business. I want to drink. If you can drink, so can I. Su Shiran drank 2 cans and was completely tipsy. In the end, I had to take a cab and carry him back to the dormitory. His warm little face rested on my shoulder, feeling so small to me. His lips brushed against my neck with each step, affectionate and clingy. That flush seemed to have transferred from his lips to my neck, sending shivers down my spine. I thought about taking a cold shower. It must be the heat that was making me feel this way. I placed Su Shiran on the bedside, but just as I was about to leave, he hooked my neck. "Don't go." With a sudden pull, I found myself tumbling onto him. That was close. I managed to brace myself on the bed to avoid crashing into him. This little one, appearing delicate and gentle, somehow always had an endless supply of strength to catch me off guard. "What is it, my little master? Do you have any further commands?" He pulled me closer, his fingertips grazing my lips. His eyes sparkled with a captivating brilliance. I felt the slow caress, a nameless impulse brewing within me. I grasped his hand, my voice unconsciously becoming husky. "Stop touching me. It's strange." Su Shiran grinned mischievously, his drunken honesty surprising me. "Zhou Luo, I actually don't dislike you at all." I know. After all, I can hear everything you're thinking. We can be good friends." "Just friends?" Su Shiran's beautiful brows knitted together, looking at me with a sense of injustice. "What else do you want?" Just as I was curious about his thoughts, Su Shiran suddenly leaned closer. The soft, sweet strawberry-flavored jelly, tinged with a hint of alcohol, pressed against my lips. His thoughts echoed in my ear. "Do you like me? Can I?" My eyes widened in shock. System failure. As Su Shiran gently patted my face after the kiss, he smiled charmingly and said, "With my seal upon you, you belong to me now." Following this, he smacked his lips and fell asleep, his cheeks flushed. Asleep? Indeed. Just like that, he drifted off.
Su Shiran.
"Are you abandoning me? My first kiss. He kissed me. He likes me. He doesn't just want me as a friend. He wants me as his boyfriend." The next morning, I woke up with 2 dark circles under my eyes, while Su Shiran appeared invigorated. "Zhou Luo, remember to take me along the next time you drink. That was some good wine." I actually dreamt of kissing Zhou Luo. Oh, how embarrassing. Su Shiran's face was calm, yet inside, he was screaming like a gopher. "You little rascal. It wasn't a dream. You truly kissed me. Though I'm not averse to such interactions, I am, after all, a straight man. Why are you silent? Have you lost your wits?" Su Shiran turned to me with a hint of dissatisfaction. However, I couldn't help but focus on his luscious, rosy lips, soft and inviting, seemingly flavored with strawberry candy, exuding a subtle sweetness. The intoxicating scent of alcohol made my head spin. "Zhou Luo." Suddenly, I snapped back to reality, hastily grabbed my bag, and fled. "Sorry, I have something to attend to." Throughout the day, my experiments were fraught with anxiety. I mismanaged the reagents several times, my mind consumed by the image of Su Shiran kissing me. "What on earth are you thinking?" I lightly slapped my own face, unable to muster the courage to reply to the multiple question marks Su Shiran had sent me on WeChat. I lingered on the first floor of the dorm until lights out, only opening the door when I presumed he was asleep. Yet, to my surprise, he was sitting in a chair watching me. "Why are you still awake?" I managed a somewhat awkward smile, feeling as though I had been caught in a compromising situation. "I was waiting for you. You could have gone to bed earlier." Just as I was setting down my bag, Su Shiran suddenly pressed against me from behind. "Zhou Luo, I seem to have misplaced a report. Did it end up with you?" His slender frame brushed against my back through his thin shirt, sending a shiver from my tailbone upwards. The pounding of my heart drowned out even Su Shiran's voice. I had no time to consider anything else and elbowed him gently. "Could you step back a bit? I'll help you look. What are you so concerned about? Just 2 days ago you were cuddling with me while sleeping. Why are you avoiding me now?" Su Shiran's breath tickled my neck as his hand played with my earlobe. He had never been so bold before. It was utterly unusual. My face was burning. Initially, I dismissed it as typical roommate banter, but ever since he kissed me yesterday, everything felt amiss. I turned to grab his hand and pushed him against the wardrobe. In the stillness of the dormitory, a loud thud echoed. "Stop teasing me, Sushiran. This is too strange." Sushiran gazed at me with half-lidded eyes, his tone unwavering. "I didn't dream it. I kissed you. What nonsense are you spouting? Nothing happened yesterday." I desperately tried to evade the truth. Once that barrier was broken, Sushiran and I could never return to the way things were. Yet, he refused to back down, grasping my collar and looking intently into my eyes. "Let me reiterate, Zhou Luo, I like you. What's your response?" He appeared icy and aloof. But once he had made up his mind, he burst forth like a flame, igniting my heart, stirring a chaos of emotions within me. "I don't like guys. I'm straight," I heard myself say. I watched as his beautiful eyes dimmed, like stars falling from the night sky, shattered, evoking a sense of pity. A few tears were suppressed within Sushiran as he coldly replied, "Then let it be." "Let it be what?" I strained to decipher his inner thoughts, but it felt like a stone cast into the deep sea. I could hear nothing. Yesterday I had deliberately avoided him, but today there was no need to. Upon waking, I found no trace of him. The WeChat account labeled Little Young Master no longer bombarded me with annoying question marks. When I returned to the dormitory that evening, he pointedly evaded me. Even our usual playful banter had vanished. He seemed cold and distant. The emptiness of the dorm was palpable. Previously I could gauge his thoughts, but now I was adrift. A week passed, and I finally succumbed to the urge to inquire about him. "You and Sushiran are in the same group, right? He seems quite busy lately." "Oh, him?" With the new students enrolling, the professor assigned him a junior to mentor. "That freshman is quite persistent. He wants Sushiran to guide him through experiments right from the start. It's strange that Sushiran hasn't lost his temper." My friend's words echoed in my mind, and before I knew it, I found myself at Sushiran's lab. A tall young man was closely leaning against Sushiran. Watching their hands inadvertently brush against each other, I tightened my grip on the doorknob. The door swung open abruptly, and both turned to look at me in surprise. I forced a calm smile. "It's almost mealtime. Sushiran, let us grab a bite together. I need to discuss something with you regarding our project." He scrutinized me coldly, sending a chill down my spine. Without the ability to hear his thoughts, his expression was rather intimidating. "I still have to mentor my junior." "Hello, senior. I'm Duanze." This junior was a head taller than Sushiran but smiled shyly. "Let us take him along for a meal. It won't delay you." Eventually, I managed to persuade Sushiran to join me at the restaurant. I felt strangely puzzled. First, I don't like guys. Second, Sushiran is a guy. Third, Sushiran likes me. So why am I here peeling shrimp for him? Once again, assuming the role of the little young master's steward. The junior had no sense of boundaries, eagerly offering to peel shrimp for Sushiran. "Senior, I'm the youngest here, so please don't trouble yourself." I smiled faintly and kindly interjected, "Junior, our little Shiran doesn't like garlic. He can't eat that bowl you have." Sushiran immediately glanced up at me. Under the gaze of those clear, cool eyes, I felt a pang of guilt as I stared out the window. What on earth am I doing calling him Little Shiran? Duanze across from me laughed awkwardly. "Zhou Senior really knows Sushiran well. We're roommates. He actually called him Sushiran. How can he be so familiar? Can Sushiran handle this? I'll be right back. I need to use the restroom." Once Sushiran left, Duanze pulled out his phone and looked at me. "Zhou Senior, let us exchange WeChat. I'd like to know more about Sushiran." Duanze smiled bashfully. I regarded him with suspicion. "What do you mean? Do you like him or something?" "Well, there's nothing wrong with admitting it. I plan to pursue Sushiran. You don't mind, do you, Zhou Senior?" Duanze scrutinized me, and I felt an inexplicable sense of resistance. Sushiran often bantered with me, appearing like an innocent young master before me. Yet I had forgotten he was a renowned figure, a flower on the high ridge. "Fine, let us at each other. I want to see what you're up to. If your intentions are improper, I will never let Sushiran go to you." Upon returning to the dormitory with Sushiran, he looked at me in confusion. "Zhou Luo, what exactly do you want to accomplish today? You haven't mentioned anything about the project." Faced with Sushiran's skepticism, I found myself at a loss, unable to elucidate my own actions. I awkwardly shifted the topic. "Are you aware that your junior has a crush on you? He mentioned wanting to pursue you." Sushiran's expression transformed into one of sudden realization. "So that's how it is. I understand now. Do you have no other thoughts on the matter?" I inquired. Su Shiran cast a cold glance in my direction. Every year, there are at least 8 or 10 who confess to me. Am I expected to concern myself with each one? How foolish. Strangely, hearing him berate me brought a flicker of joy to my heart. But why are you so invested in my affairs? Oh, straight man. Step aside, I need to take a shower. Your presence is bothersome. Without the veil of unspoken sentiments, discerning the sincerity behind Su Shiran's words became an arduous task. Yet, an impulse to reach out to him stirred within me. But if I did, what would I say? That night, as I lay in bed, I heard a voice message from Duanzhe on Su Shiran's phone. Senior Shiran, I appreciate you helping me these past few days. Tomorrow I'll bring you breakfast. What do you like to eat? His deliberately deepened male voice resonated with a certain ambiguity within the confines of the dormitory. Su Shiran was not fond of voice messages, and I remained oblivious to his reply. My unease returned. In the past, I had always brought Su Shiran breakfast. Despite my aversion to him, he possessed a peculiar charm that compelled me to cater to his needs. As I scrolled through Su Shiran's moments, I discovered that Duanzhe had commented on every single post. The flurry of flattery made me consider deleting him. What was happening to me? Was I still straight? In an effort to regain my composure, I ensconced myself in the laboratory for days on end. My encounters with Su Shiran were limited to our nightly returns to the dorm. Senior, do you have something on your mind? You've made several mistakes in the experiments lately, my junior remarked. Embarrassed, I offered my apologies. Just speak your mind. Bottling it up won't help, she urged, her inquisitive gaze fixed upon me. I glanced at the open chat with Su Shiran. It had been a week since our last conversation. Hesitant, I ventured, what does it feel like to be in love? Whenever I see him, my heart races. I constantly want to meet him, and just a light touch sends shivers down my spine. By the way, my boyfriend always wants to kiss me as if he can never get enough. It's quite annoying. Haha, she replied. Although she claimed to be exasperated, the happiness in her eyes was palpable. Suddenly, her phone chimed. She flashed me a smile and waved. My boyfriend is here to pick me up. If you have someone you like, you should go after them before someone else swoops in. As soon as she left, my phone vibrated. Incoming call from young master. I answered immediately. Zhou Luo. Come pick me up. The voice on the other end was a stark contrast to Su Shiran's usual frosty tone. It was sweet as honey, sending a delightful shiver through me. My heart raced as my junior had described. Where are you? I'm on my way, I exclaimed. Suddenly, I heard Duanzhe's voice over the phone. Senior, you've had too much to drink. Who are you calling? Let me take you home. Beep, beep, beep. The call was abruptly disconnected. I quickly reached out to my sole contact within Su Shiran's circle to obtain his location. My heart continued to race as I drove. Upon arrival, I beheld Su Shiran cradling Duanzhe's face, seemingly about to kiss him. My heart erupted like a volcano. I dashed over at breakneck speed, placing my hand between them, causing Su Shiran to kiss my palm instead. He stared at me, then glanced at the flustered Duanzhe. Two Zhou Luos? No. You are Zhou Luo. Why are you so slow? Come here and hug me. Previously, I found Su Shiran's demands irksome, but now my heart melted. I swept him up, feigning nonchalance as I pecked his lips. Thank you for your trouble, Junior. I shall take my wife home now. Such was the aura of the rightful partner. As I brought Su Shiran back to the dorm, I found him increasingly endearing. May I kiss you? I felt a pang of nostalgia for strawberry-flavored jelly. Su Shiran donned an expression of playful annoyance, closing his eyes and pouting. I gingerly cupped his face and pressed my lips against his. To my surprise, it was even sweeter than I had imagined. My junior's words rang true. When you like someone, you can't help but become a passionate lover. I like you, Su Shiran. I am a straight man who is only bent for you. The following morning, as Su Shiran awoke, I was on the balcony washing his clothes. Are you out of your mind, Zhou Luo? Didn't I tell you not to touch my clothes? He exclaimed, his face flushed bright red. I leisurely scrubbed his underwear. What's wrong with washing my boyfriend's clothes? Am I not allowed to be a devoted partner? What do you mean by that? Su Shiran's face reddened even further, resembling a delectable peach. Su Shiran, would you be willing to be my boyfriend? I gazed into Su Shiran's shimmering eyes and gently kissed his cheek. Although you may be contradictory and have a sharp tongue, your heartbeat reveals the most profound truth. The end. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and give a thumbs up to support. Until we meet again in the next story.